I don't exactly have the best relationship with the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchise. The only one I tend to feel really great about is the first one. I saw that as a kid and loved it, and then I rewatched it a couple of years ago for Dominion and absolutely loved it again. The second one, which I think is Lost World, I think's absolute dog garbage. I hate that one so much that it put me off watching number three, which I don't remember because I watched that growing up once and then didn't rewatch it for Dominion, so it might be good. I think it is. I think it is. I just don't really remember it. So, yeah, sorry about that. Jurassic World, however, I don't mind. It's not that bad. I kind of like it. I have quite a lot of fun with it. I remember watching that in cinema and having quite a good time with the first Jurassic World. But the other two, oh, the bar could not get lower for a film for these two. Imagine there being a Jurassic World film, and the film was more focused on locusts rather than dinosaurs. Like, this is what Jurassic World Rebirth is following. The initial reactions to this film really weren't that good, especially for critics. I think it got a 52%, I think it's on now for Rotten Tomatoes, which really isn't great. Now, I know with Rotten Tomatoes, you've got to sort of take it as a pinch of salt. It's a review aggregator. It's not like a general score, do you know what I mean? But I still do look at it. I tend to get a pretty decent gauge of what I'm looking at with that one. But for Jurassic World Rebirth, I don't think it's that bad. I just don't think it's that good either. So let's talk about it. Jurassic World Rebirth follows Zora Bennett and her team to travel to the regions in the equator to extract DNA from three different species of dinosaur in order to help aid a medical breakthrough. Just a quick disclaimer, I do talk about some things to do with the plot. I don't spoil anything, but if you don't want to know anything about the plot, then just click away now. Go watch the film and then come back. Now, because of what I'd already heard, I was already a bit skeptical, a little bit wary, but I do try as hard as I can before I go into screenings to be as neutral as possible, no matter what the reviews are like, good or bad. I thought this film was a lot more enjoyable than what people are saying, or a lot critics are saying, but I do agree in the fact that it's not that great. If you want cool dinosaur scenes from this, you've got it. I'd say the biggest scene is where they're trying to extract DNA from a dinosaur in the water. I don't really know dinosaur names, so I apologize. They might have said it in the film. I probably wasn't paying attention to that. But the whole scene where it, of course, doesn't go as planned, I thought that was really cool. That is my favourite scene of the film. I had a lot of fun with that. I'd say a lot of the DNA extraction scenes are really cool. They are tense. They did get me excited. Those were the best parts of the films, along with the ending scene. I thought that was full of tense and suspension as well. It's nothing to do with the DNA extractions, but they are just trying to go home. And the dinosaurs are trying to stop them, I guess. And that was... that one was a lot of fun. This though was the only bit of excitement with the dinosaurs. I never truly cared for the human characters really. I mean, the team pick up a shipwrecked family and they get separated, and the film follows them both separately. But because I never really cared about any of the characters, I was struggling to follow them both, like both sets of characters, which was a bit annoying. There's moments where before we set off with Scarlett Johansson's Zora and Mahershala Ali's Duncan talk about their past and who they've lost on missions, because they do these missions quite a bit. But I feel like I've missed something here because it felt like it didn't really add anything, and I know it's supposed to contribute to their characters and their motives and their emotions, I guess. I just didn't feel like it did that. I feel like if there was a character that I'd have cared for the most, it would have been Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey. He was the only character I liked, to be honest. His character is also the nicest, morally the nicest. He's a paleontologist, so he cares a lot for the dinosaurs. And he's trying to think about the general consumer, about this medical breakthrough. He's trying to think how it can be mass produced to everyone and not just keep it for the rich. So I respect that, because this team, some of them really aren't good people. I thought the performances were fine. Like, everyone did their job, but it does feel like the big names that we've got, your Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, even though they do have big roles, I do feel like they're a bit underused here, especially in Mahershala Ali's case. It got to the point for me where I was kind of enjoying the performances of the shipwrecked family more, and just their storyline in general compared to the teams, which is odd because the whole premise is in regards to the team and everything feels like it should be about them. But I felt more for the family. It ain't much, but I felt more for them than I did the actual team, which is a bit strange. My big thought after this film, though, is that these films do need to be better, and I'm talking about the Jurassic World films in particular. So the first Jurassic World, like I said earlier, it's not great, but I like it, and I think it's actually alright. But collectively, I know people don't think it's that great. But I don't mind it. The next two are genuinely quite awful. And this one, it's not as bad as the last two, but I enjoyed bits of it. Like the dinosaur bits, I did enjoy. But I can recognise that I don't think this film is that good. These films do need to be good and enjoyable, in my opinion. The problem is that this franchise is like an infinite money glitch. In a way, they will always make a lot of money for Universal. So I think as long as they keep doing that, we will get more. That's why I think we'll never get a Jurassic World that's rated a 15 in the UK. So it would be R-rated in the States. Because it just won't do as well in the box office. A lot of like kids, and the dinosaur appeal is very heavy on them. And obviously they can't get into a 15 or an R-rated film. So it would lose money there. But a 15 film or an R-rated Jurassic World film is what I want. I think a lot of the audience would want that, but I just don't think they do it just for the money reason. I think there's so much more you can do with a 15. You can be a little bit or a lot more inventive in what you can accomplish in your film. I don't even think Jurassic World Rebirth really pushed the limit of a 12A, if I'm being honest. It's a PG-13 in the States. So they very clearly don't want to do it, but I think they should. And when the rumor was flying around that this one was going to be a 15, I was really quite excited, because it's just what I want. I think it's what a lot of people want, like I said, but they won't do it. Universal won't do it. Watch them do it. I'll come back to this moment. What I've told a few people already is that if you want cool and enjoyable dinosaur scenes, then that's what you've got. But that's it. So if that's all you want, then fine. You will probably enjoy this one. I think it's quite good. But if you want a little bit more, that's when it starts to go a little bit down. It is an improvement on Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, which is a good start. Not hard, but it's a good start. But a franchise like this, it does need more, in my opinion. So I give Jurassic World Rebirth 3 stars. Closer to a 2.5 than a 3.5. Simply because of my enjoyment I had for the dinosaur scenes. Everything else I didn't really care for much. If you have seen Jurassic World Rebirth, please let me know what you thought. And if you enjoyed the review, please like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated and would help me out. Also check me out on other socials on screen. And I'll see you in the next.